Hi, my name is Ali. I'm 37 years old. I work in healthcare and live in Vancouver. I've completed 102 hours in the Unlimited Pilot program, Maahi Wellness. Before I came to the EESystem, I had 3 concussions between 2017 and 2019. The way I got these concussions was working with children with special needs. Due to their erratic movements, there were some impacts that led to me getting these concussions that I wasn't able to dodge quick enough. And after that, I stopped working with children, and my work changed from being only 10% screen time to 90% screen time. And with all of the concussion symptoms, spending that much time at the computer would really wipe me out, and I was struggling to get all my work done. For me, one of the first symptoms of concussions were headaches. It would feel like pressure in my head. The second symptom of concussion that I had was fatigue. I would just get easily tired, and I would need about a lot of downtime to lie down after basic tasks regularly. The third symptom of the concussion was that I needed a lot of extra downtime, specifically an extra day of downtime in a working week. That would lead to me needing 3 days of downtime to be able to manage the small amount of energy that I had. Also with the fatigue, it took me a long time to get started, especially in the morning. Even if I woke up early, it would take me until noon to feel like I was alert and ready to start working. The fourth symptom I had was a lack of mental clarity. I would lose my train of thought, I would be forgetful, and it took a long time for me to remember what I was doing or what I had been thinking about. The fifth symptom I had was a lack of mental stamina. What this would look like is small little interactions would really deplete my energy. Something like going to the grocery store, stopping at the pharmacy to pick up your medicine, being asked random questions like, do you have air miles? I felt like I needed to lie down after something like that. The sixth symptom that I was having post-concussion was very low productivity at work. For example, I would spend 3 days writing a report that I could only bill 2 hours for. Up until July 2004, I was having this kind of problem. My supervisor told me that it was concerning that I was working about 6 days a week, but only billing 20 to 30 hours per week. So for context, that looks like working 40 to 60 hours per week, but only really being productive for 20 to 30 hours. The seventh symptom that I was having, feeling always that I wasn't good enough and wasn't meeting expectations. I think one of the most challenging aspects of post-concussion symptoms is that they are invisible. And so the expectations that people have of you based on how you look, which is fine, are often higher than what you can meet. So always feeling like you're falling short and not meeting the expectations at work, with family, or even from your friends can really have an impact on your self-esteem. Another way that all these challenges of post-concussion symptoms affected me was that I was spending a lot of time and energy trying to help myself by going to therapy and getting bodywork sessions. I was spending a lot of time and energy when I was already feeling like I didn't have enough energy to meet my responsibilities, which added more stress to my life. In July 2024, I had come to the realization that I couldn't continue like this. I might need to quit my job. And it was around this crossroads that I found the EESystem. It was my birthday in July, and my sister gifted me a 2-hour intro session at Maahi Wellness, and that was my first time experiencing the EESystem. The first change I noticed after 2 hours in the EESystem was that I felt energized. That was a feeling I hadn't had in a while, and so I knew something was different. I didn't expect it to last as long as it did, and I was surprised when it lasted an entire week. I had a yoga retreat for myself as a radical act of self-care. It's something I always wanted to do. The August 8th weekend is when I left. I always hesitated booking time off because I always spend time catching up with work after, and it's more stressful working to finish up my work so that I can take vacation. I found that week after my first session, I was able to get a lot more done due to the boost in energy and mental clarity, and this in turn improved my mood as well. At this point, Dee recommended that I spend 10 hours in the EESystem and observe the impact on my overall health. And a few things happened around this time that were pivotal to my progress. I got an iron infusion on August 16th, 2024. It was also around the same time that my supervisor called me and told me that one of my colleagues was going on a leave and there were some clients to be taken on. After the call, I still felt capable of being able to accept new clients. A month before that, prior to starting the EESystem, I would have been overwhelmed at the very idea of taking on any new clients, and in that day I took on 4. Because I went on the yoga retreat, I had a few days away from my environment and spent a few days doing yoga, which I love, and it really helped to boost my mood and energy. I also signed up and applied for a beginner music course at the end of August. All these things were happening as I was doing the 10 hours of the EESystem, and I could see that my expanded energy was helping me take on new things with confidence. I was still struggling with lingering post-concussive syndromes in 2021 when I returned to work, and by 2024 I was expected to resume work at full-time capacity. After seeing the improvement in my energy and mental clarity, after just my first session, I felt I wanted to give the EESystem a chance and see if I could continue to improve my nervous system capacity. With the Unlimited Hours program, it gave me the opportunity to immerse myself in the EESystem over a period of 3 months in both day and overnight sessions, and I was curious to see what the impact of continued hours in the system would have. That's why I enrolled myself in the pilot program for over a period of 3 months. The pilot program ran from September to December 2024. So what was happening in my life before the EESystem pilot program and what's happening after is vastly different. Before the pilot program, I was in a doom and gloom place. I was feeling like I might need to quit my job. I can't really do what's expected of me and fully look after myself, and was really considering what I needed to change in order to get better and not feel like a failure all the time. One of the first changes I noticed with consistent attendance in the pilot program was that I had higher morning energy. Previously, I would wait until 12 or even 1 to be alert to start doing my work, but now I can bank on being able to start working around 9 or 10 a.m. And it really helps me to feel like I can make plans and follow through with them and wake up in a frame of mind that I don't need to wait so long before being able to be productive. The second change I've noticed with the Unlimited Hour pilot program is that my sleep is better. I don't wake up as often during the night, and I can sleep more peacefully. And when you can sleep more peacefully for a lot of nights in a row, you start to feel the compounding effects of having good sleep. Just generally feel more resilient, and everyday stressors don't have as much edge. So since the pilot program, I also noticed more stable energy throughout the day. Every day I noticed I would hit a wall around 5 p.m. after starting at 1 that I would just not be able to do very much after that. So I had around 4 or 5 hours of productive work in me per day. But now I work an 8-hour day quite consistently. The same thing applies to the week. I used to run out of steam by Wednesday, and now I don't really hit a wall or crash as much as I used to. I actually rarely crash. Another change I noticed since the pilot program is my productivity at work increased. Because I had more steady energy throughout the day and I could start earlier, I would see clients as early as 9 or 10 in the morning and have about 8 hours or even 10 hours of productive work in me sometimes. In September and October, my supervisor called me and said, "Are you okay? I want to make sure you don't burn out because you're doing way more than even is expected." And that felt really good because after so long of not doing enough, it was nice that I had been able to sustain doing enough and even more without feeling burnt out. The fifth change I noticed after participating in the pilot was I had higher confidence and self-esteem. Doing well at work meant that I didn't feel inferior to my colleagues. I could participate at social events with the feeling that I was good enough to be there, and I no longer dreaded the monthly meetings with my supervisor. The sixth change that I noticed after participating in the pilot was I would accept social invitations and just have more energy to participate with friends and family outside of work, whereas before I was just working to keep my head above water. I had extra time and energy and the inclination to participate with friends and just do things for fun. The seventh change I noticed is having the pilot program, I was able to pursue passions outside of work and responsibilities like music. I've always wanted to do this, and I was able to enroll in a course at VCC, and I actually maintained an A average in that course while I was exceeding expectations at work. I think with the EESystem, it gave my nervous system capacity to heal in a way that I didn't have before. It wasn't from a lack of trying. I was making a huge effort to help myself by going to different therapies, trying different things to improve my functioning. But the EESystem gave me just a sense of resilience that came from inside that allowed other things to improve. And I believe that it gave my nervous system what it needed in order to help itself heal, which is the greatest blessing that I needed.